What separates the rappers we respect from the ones we revere? It's a debate that cuts deep into hip-hop culture, one that fans, critics, and artists themselves have been having for decades. Everybody can spit a verse. A lot of rappers can ride a beat. Some can even put out a solid project. But only a handful have transcended that and earned a place in the pantheon, not just as rappers, but as legends. In the world of hip-hop, there's an invisible hierarchy. At the base are the good rappers, the ones with clean delivery, technical skills, and maybe even a few decent records. They've proven they can rap, and sometimes, that's enough to build a career. Think of the artists who consistently show up, put in work, and maybe even get mainstream attention, but somehow never spark that deeper cultural shift. They're respected, but not celebrated. Then come the great rappers. These are the ones whose music defines eras, who drop bars that live in your head for years, who sell out arenas, dominate streaming charts, and leave an undeniable fingerprint on the genre. They're the artists who raise the standard. They make it hard for anyone else to follow. And then, above even them, stand the legendary rappers. These are the names that get etched into the DNA of hip-hop forever. They weren't just good with words. They didn't just make hits. They changed the game, artistically, culturally, and sometimes politically. But here's the real question: how do you move through those levels? How does someone go from being good to great, or from great to legendary? To understand that, you have to look at more than just skills or album sales. You've got to look at impact, innovation, longevity, and a certain magic, that intangible element that makes an artist unforgettable. Let's take a step back. In the early 2010s, a young rapper named Logic emerged from Maryland. His flow was polished. His rhyme schemes were tight. His subject matter had emotional depth. He rapped about addiction, mental health, and being biracial in America. By all technical accounts, Logic was good. He built a massive fanbase. He packed venues. He even earned a Grammy nomination. But when the conversation turns to the greatest or most legendary rappers of all time, Logic's name rarely enters the room. Why? Because good isn't enough. Good doesn't change the game. Good is comfortable. Great, on the other hand, makes people uncomfortable. It forces the industry to evolve. Take someone like J. Cole. When Cole dropped Friday Night Lights, he was still in that good category. He had the skills, no doubt. But people were unsure if he had a distinct voice. Was he just another conscious rapper? Could he make hits? But then came 2014 Forest Hills Drive. No features. Deeply personal storytelling. Platinum certification. Cole leveled up. He didn't just rap well. He told a story people connected with. He reached into his past and brought out truth in a way that made fans feel seen. That's the jump from good to great.
But even great rappers can remain in limbo. For years, Drake was the king of hits. Nobody could deny his success. Billboard records, international tours, meme-worthy bars. But critics questioned his authenticity. Was he a rapper or a pop star? Did he write all his rhymes? Did it matter? For some, that ambiguity kept him in the great category. For others, his longevity and dominance made him a legend in his own right. But that's the gray area, and that's where the debate gets heated. Because becoming legendary isn't about perfection. It's about moments. Moments that shift the axis of the culture. Look at Tupac. He wasn't the most lyrically complex MC. But Pac had presence. He could go from heartfelt poems to vicious diss tracks with ease. He was vulnerable and revolutionary in the same breath. Songs like Dear Mama, Keep Ya Head Up, and Changes weren't just hits, they were anthems. He wasn't just rapping. He was preaching. He made you feel something deeper. And when he died, it felt like the world stopped. That's what being legendary means. You're bigger than the music. Now consider someone like Eminem. When he came on the scene, people thought he was a gimmick, a white rapper with shock value. But M proved everyone wrong. His lyricism was insane. His rhyme schemes were surgical. He had storytelling ability, vulnerability, rage, humor, all wrapped into one volatile package. Stan became a word in the dictionary. He dominated the 2000s and still sells out stadiums today. M's evolution from battle rapper to global icon is a blueprint in itself. And then you have Jay-Z, a rapper who evolved into a business mogul. From Reasonable Doubt to The Blueprint to 444, Hov didn't just make music, he made moves. He turned lyrics into legacy. He married hip-hop with hustle. And today, he's not just one of the greatest rappers, he's one of the most powerful figures in entertainment, period. But not all legends follow the same path. Some burn bright and fast. Biggie only released 2 albums before his life was tragically cut short, yet his flow, charisma, and storytelling are still unmatched. In just a few years, he left a mark deeper than most artists do in decades. That's the paradox of greatness. Sometimes, less is more when you make it count. Kendrick Lamar took a different route. Quiet, calculated, almost monk-like, each album feels like a deliberate step in a grander journey. Good Kid, M. AAD City was cinematic. To Pimp a Butterfly was political. Damn. Was personal and Pulitzer-worthy. Kendrick doesn't drop often, but when he does, it's an event. That's legendary behavior. He speaks when it matters. And then there's Kanye West, one of the most polarizing figures in music history. Say what you will about his antics, but Kanye redefined what hip-hop could sound like. The college dropout blended soul and raw honesty. 808s and Heartbreak pioneered the emotional, auto-tuned rap singing that dominates today. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Arguably the best hip-hop album of the 2010s. He broke the rules and rebuilt the genre in his image. That's legacy. But here's the thing. Greatness isn't always about talent. Sometimes, it's about timing. Sometimes, it's about the moment the world is in when your voice finally hits. Some artists are great in silence, only to become legendary in hindsight.
Take DMX, for example. His debut album It's Dark and Hell is Hot came out in 1998, in the middle of shiny suits and party anthems. But X brought raw pain, gravel-throated fury, and real street soul. He was vulnerable and vicious. He barked like a dog on records and prayed like a saint on stage. 2 multi-platinum albums in 1 year. Nobody's done that since. His impact is still felt. In energy, in emotion, in how rappers embrace pain as power. Even someone like 50 Cent fits in the conversation. When he dropped Get Rich or Die Tryin', it was a cultural reset. He didn't just release an album, he launched an era. The bulletproof vests, the swagger, the hooks, the menace. He was a walking headline. He embodied everything the streets idolized and feared. His fall was fast, but his rise was legendary. Then we have the artists who hover in the great category for years and might still ascend. Travis Scott, for example, has already influenced the sound and aesthetic of modern hip-hop. His concerts are chaotic masterpieces. His production is genre-bending. And after the Astroworld tragedy, his legacy hangs in the balance. Will he come back stronger? Or remain a cautionary tale? And what about newer voices like Lil Baby or Tyler, the Creator? Tyler went from shock rap troll to Grammy-winning artist who fuses jazz, funk, rap, and fashion into one cohesive brand. He's carving a unique lane, one that might make him legendary in the next decade. Lil Baby, on the other hand, has the voice of the streets right now. The hunger, the pain, the message, but the question remains, can he evolve? So, where does this leave us? The line between good, great, and legendary is blurry, but it's real. Good rappers are talented. Great rappers are consistent. But legends bend the culture. They don't just react to the times, they define them. Their music is timeless. Their influence is permanent. And their names are etched into the hearts of fans long after the mic is dropped. It's not just about punchlines or platinum plaques. It's about purpose. It's about saying something that needed to be said, and doing it in a way no one else could. It's about building a legacy that outlives the moment. So next time someone asks you who your top 5 are, ask them back, are you naming the good, the great, or the legendary? And more importantly, who's next?